As I sit here and think about my early childhood, what almost always comes to mind is being in my mother's garden, building cities in the dirt. I was really good at them. They were like real. We grew up in a pretty meager financial household. When you grow up almost like a single child and have to entertain yourself because we live far away from people, we didn't have like neighbors, you begin to be more creative, willing to invent your own little worlds. Those moments of early creation are foundational. It was a very, enlightened period for me. I was able to go to college where creativity was being fostered. I became a very obsessed student. I always tell these little story about how the earlier students which would come into the architectural library at the University of Texas and ask the librarian for some information or direction. They oftentimes would say, "You see that guy sitting in that chair over there? He knows every book in this library. Just ask him, he'll tell you." And I would tell him because I knew every book in the library. Now, I tried to do the same thing when I went to Harvard, but that friggin' library was too big. So I did as good as I could do, but it was big. I can remember learning about the abstraction of taking built objects and understanding how they interacted with each other. Even till this day is the foundation of my architecture. It's this simple idea of the geometry being brought together. Moments of collision when the two things try to fight each other. Who's going to be more powerful? And what links them together is circulation. Like, how does a human being get from this space to that space? In the end, architecture is all about feelings. I feel that in my architecture, the stair is the most important circulation element. We were approached by the owner of ViewRail, a gentleman by the name of Len Morris, and he was interested in making some stairs. They're probably the single biggest modular fabricator of stairs in the United States. It's a pretty big deal. When ViewRail asked me to visit their fabrication facility, I began to realize that though I had used them, I wasn't appreciating the level of perfection that they build into their product. I mean, down to the millimeter. And I can relate to that. Everything I do has to be perfect. So to find a company that has a similar desire for perfection, that's a rare commodity. They make stairs that are beautiful, by the way. The thing I said to the management team was, kind of all your stairs are a little bit the same. I wanted the stair and talked to Len about having the stair be more dynamic, more spatially active, have it be a centerpiece of conversation. One of the things that we're exploring right now is the idea of doing a stair that's very sculptural, like a corkscrew going up. The stair design is inclusive of details like a carved out handrail into the wood of the side of the stair. I wanted the stair have illumination, that the stair actually had its own internal glow, so that you felt as you walked up that stair, you were almost following the glow of light. So there's going to be a new stair from ViewRail, crazily called the Bruce. Whenever anything can now have a use as well as being beautiful, I think it's more successful than just being beautiful. One of the really wonderful things about being an architect is you don't have to physically be strong. It's an intellectual process of design. I think what happens with age is you begin to realize that you're not going to be here forever, and that maybe some of the things that you've done may need to be understood. And so in recent time, I have been more focused on my legacy. I've been asked several times about retirement, and I don't really have any interest in retirement. It gives me great satisfaction, not because I've created something, but because I've been able to help people. I think of architecture as a tool to allow me to give people a voice.